on the high Sabbath, which is the memorial of blowing of trumpets, 2019. First and foremost, we always like to give praise and honor to the God of Israel, which is Jesus, of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Amen. Tonight is a very important night that we cannot forget, because this night is dealing with death. And when Christ come back to this earth, well, before he come back to this earth, he got these 7 trumpets that got to blow. And most of the world is prepared for a rapture. And they're not prepared for this. This right here is nothing you can get prepared for overnight. That's why we have to go through this every single year. God wants us to make sure we refresh our mind every year. That's why he put these high holy days here, to put a remembrance of what he's going to do in the future and what he has done in the past and helping Israel and the other nations. Anytime you refer to memorial, the first thing people think about is death, right? And just like the Passover, it's a memorial also. And when you're dealing with the trumpets, it's going to be a lot of death hit this earth. And when you are not prepared mentally, you will shake to your bones and try to run for safety. And most of these people are going to take the mark of the beast. Mainly because there's no safety when you're outside of the wilderness. You got to make sure you're inside of the wilderness, and only the strong will survive outside. If you ain't strong, you need to be in the wilderness, in the place of safety at this time. And this is what this feast is all about, to prepare you mentally for the blowing of the trumpets. I'm not here to try to prepare you for the rapture, because that's a lie. That's right. If your pastor preaching, telling you you're going to be out of here before these trumpets blow, he's a liar. And most of all, he's a murderer. He's a spiritual murderer. When he do not tell you what's happening in the book of Revelation when he talks about those trumpets. Very important night. We invite people all the time to come out for the feast day, and they just give us all kind of excuses. But when this hit, they're going to remember us. And they're going to be mourning, just like Jesus said in Matthew chapter 24. He said, all the tribes will mourn, because they mourned because they didn't think this was going to happen. They heard about it, because Christ said the gospel got to be preached all over the world before he comes. They're going to hear it. They're going to hear it. So let's get down to the business of this feast. Let's turn to Leviticus chapter 23 to understand the plan of God. If you understand Leviticus chapter 23, you understand the plan of God. Very important. Leviticus chapter 23, we're going to start with verse 1. When you get it, brother, go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation, even these are my feasts.
They always tell you that these are the feasts of the Jews. These are not the feasts of the Jews. These are the feasts of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's what he said. The feast of the Lord. That's Jesus, not the Jews. If you're going to be a part of the covenant, as we've been dealing with for the last 2 weeks, you must keep these high days. You must understand what's going on. If you sit in this congregation or any congregation in Israel, you're going to understand somewhat about the feast days. Go ahead, brother.
6 days shall work be done.
Yes, sir.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
He included this weekly Sabbath. That's the weekly Sabbath. It's a high day also, but it falls every 7th day. You remember that one? Go ahead.
And holy convocation, you shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
We can't do it because we're not in the land. No. We can't do it because we don't have the priest. We can't do it because we don't have the temple. These are all the excuses all the Israelites have when you tell them you must keep this feast or keep the Sabbath. He said, in all your dwellings. You think the Lord didn't know he was going to scatter us all over the world? That's why he told us in Isaiah, he said, I'm going to be a living sanctuary to you in your enemy land. Understand that. Go ahead.
These are the feasts of the Lord.
Feast of the who?
Of the Lord.
I like to emphasize that. The feast of Jesus, not the Jews. Go ahead.
Even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their season.
See, we know to proclaim this in the season it's supposed to. We don't just pick a day. Most people in the world pick a day. God is very discreet about his days. He gives you dates and times. And the first one, he said, on the 14th day of the first month, you remember it for Passover. Then the 15th day, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Then the 21st day, the last of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Then now we get all the way down to the memorial of blowing the trumpets. Let's see what we're supposed to do on this day. Jump down to verse 23. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath.
Yes, sir.
A memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation.
Do you understand what he said right here? He very detailed. He said, in the 7th month, the first day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath. A memorial of the blowing of trumpets. If you don't know, Leviticus chapter 23 is the calendar of the Bible. The calendar that God recognized. Our calendar starts in the spring. In the springtime, not the dead of winter in January. It don't make sense to start a new year when everything's dead. God started in the spring. And he said, you should have a holy what? Convocation. People don't press to get to this to this convocation. You got to press to because that's a law. It's incomplete if you don't have a convocation. We got to follow the law. Go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So he's telling you, we don't go to our jobs. That's why we're going to be off Monday. No servile work. And we can, he said, offer made by fire. You can do some cooking on this day because you can eat. I mean, you got an offering made, but we don't make the offering now because Christ died and took away that offering of animal sacrifice. But I want to give you a little detail on the Sabbath. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 58. Because a lot of people don't understand how to keep the Sabbath. And these high Sabbath, we got a little room, wiggle room to handle, to have fun on these Sabbath days, a little wiggle room. But we must understand the details and the rules of the Sabbath. It's got to be all about Christ. You can't be going out there bowling. You can't be going out there going to the gym. You can't be going out there cutting hair, working. You can't do all that stuff on that day. You should refrain from your survival work or your things that make you happy. It's got to be happiness within the congregation of the congregation. It got to be happy right here. But I'll give you a little detail on this, on the Sabbath. Verse 13, Isaiah 58:13. Go ahead.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day,
yes, sir,
and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
This is very detailed. He wants us to carry it out to our best of our ability. You can't just disregard this because he writes stuff down. He said, every word that come out of our mouth, we're going to be judged for it. And he's looking real closely on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth.
Yes, sir.
Feed thee with the heritage of Jacob, thy father, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it.
When are we going to rise upon the high place of the earth? When we go back to Jerusalem. When Christ is on David's throne ruling, he brings us back to the holy mountain. But if we don't remember these high holy days in the Sabbath, we cannot get there. We can't. You can't. I don't care if you feed the hungry. I don't care if you give people clothes off your back. I don't care. That don't mean nothing with the Lord. He's talking about these laws, period. You better go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13. He said, without charity, it is nothing. Charity is love. Love is the commandments, period. Understand that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. Let's get down to what these trumpets are all about. Because the world is so shaken up in their mind with these lying pastors that they think it's going to be a rapture. They think that. But a lot of stuff got to go down before the end happens. And believe me, these trumpets, it's about to go down with these trumpets. But a lot of stuff don't happen before the trumpets blow. And the disciples asked the question about the end. We want to know the same, at least I want to know. If somebody got a trap for me around the corner, I want to know what's going on. What he look like, how tall he is, what kind of gun he got, what kind of trap he got. But most of the world will tell you, I don't need to know all that. I'm saved. I'm sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost gonna guide me. Yeah, that devil is a spirit also, but he ain't holy. He will guide you to the lake of fire, telling you that you don't have to keep these days. So don't get mixed up now. Matthew chapter 24, verse 1. Then listen to Jesus talk about the end. Go ahead.
And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple.
Yes, sir.
And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
That temple that you're talking about is Solomon's temple. It was very beautiful when he built the house of the Lord. David wanted to build it, but God told David, you too bloody, I'm going to let your son Solomon build it. But he said, this temple shall be torn down to the ground. When did that happen? In 70 AD, when they destroyed the temple. When General Titus and Vespasian came in and destroyed Jerusalem to the ground. This is when this happened. He said, this thing going to be torn down. Well, listen to the question that the disciple asked about the end. Go ahead.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives,
yes, sir,
the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
That's a good question. When you want to know the end of something, you want to be prepared. The end of the world, you want to be prepared to be in a place of safety. You need to know. And Jesus told them what the first thing they're going to try to do is deceive them with his name. Listen to this. Go ahead.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Yes, sir.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Are you going to come in Buddha name? They're going to come in Sun Myung Moon name. They got a lot of names they come in to save their people. They're going to come in Elijah Muhammad name. All our brothers trapped up in that Muslim religion. No, they're going to come in Christ's name. And they're going to deceive many. They're going to tell you, you ain't got to worry about the book of Revelation. That you're going to be raptured out of here. You ain't got to worry about them trumpets. You ain't got to worry about all them high days. That stuff is done away. If you let them trick you, you should go to hell now. You should. And I should too. Don't let them trick you. Read this stuff, understand it. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
We are living in that time right now. We got wars and rumors of war all over the world. Everybody warring with each other. Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation,
yes,
and
sir,
kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrow.
He said, all these are the beginning of sorrow. Nation rise against nation. You got the Chinese rise against the Russian. You got the Russian rise against the Chinese. You got America rise against the Muslim. You got Muslim rise against. These are different nations. Everybody coming against each other. We are in this time. Yep. Right here. He said, this is the beginning. Go ahead.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
Now he talking about us. Go ahead.
And shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Yes, sir. Because a lot of people think just because you say Jesus that you ain't going to be hated. Yeah, Jesus, you're going to be hated along with telling them the law. If you don't tell the law along with Jesus, they probably let you slide. When you tell them you're going to hell for that swine, they're going to hate you. You tell them that the Sunday is not their Sabbath, they're going to definitely hate you. You going to tell them to burn that Christmas tree down in your house, they're going to hate you. They're going to go at you hard. What you mean, the baby can't have no Christmas? The baby? What you doing for the baby? You better take that Christmas tree out because the Lord told you in Jeremiah chapter 10. Because these trumpets are going to blow. Jump down to verse 29. We finished with that?
Yes, sir.
Verse 29, because I want to let people know right here what Jesus said. He said, look, I'm not coming before all these trumpets blow. That's the tribulation period. I'm not coming. I'm going to come after the tribulation period. This is what he's telling you right here, verse 29. Go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light.
Yes, sir.
And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
This is when the time that destruction going to be upon this earth. Everything going to hit the fan. Go ahead.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in
Wait a minute, he said, then shall appear?
Then.
After all that, immediately after the tribulation, immediately after those 7 trumpets blow, then Jesus coming. So much for your rapture. So much for your TBN left behind. Them were some big liars. Stop listening to them cats on TBN. I grew up with that crap. Had me jacked up in the mind till I read the book and got a teacher. Started up verse 30. Go ahead.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Wait a minute, that's Jesus coming. Why are they mourning? Because in this day, they don't believe this book. It's a fairy tale. Right. They don't believe it. Going to have their mourning like they're going to remember something you said or I said, that he was coming back after all these 7 trumpets. And they said, oh man, I ain't got myself together. What can I tell him? I don't know. And that's why they mourning. You have a lot of people who will tell you the commandments, what you're not doing, and they ain't doing the commandments themselves. I said, wait a minute, do you understand what you're telling me? You said you're telling me I'm not doing the commandments. That means that you know. So if you don't know them, how you gonna get judged because you didn't do it. Period. They would tell you up and down, y'all don't supposed to be doing the laws and this and that, and go verbatim, some of them. But they don't understand. They are testifying against their own soul. They testify. Let's get to this understanding of the trumpets. You finished with that?
31.
Go ahead.
And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet.
Yes, sir.
And they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
What's that trumpet he gonna sing? That's the last trump. The 7th one. You got 6 more before that one. Now let's look at what's gonna go down. Revelation chapter 8. It's very important that we make these feasts and have a holy convocation and talk about this. It ain't gonna be a large number of people because we living in the last days. I ain't worried about that no more. I'm worried about getting my mind sound in this book. Sound in this book. We got to get sound so we can have faith in this so Jesus won't kill us when we get here. You don't know it. You don't believe it. You just showed up. I don't want to be that one. To just show up and just be here and say, oh, okay. I'm just doing it for my wife. I'm just doing it for my husband. I'm just doing it for my kids. Don't be that one. Show up because you understand what's about to hit this earth. Revelation chapter 8 and verse 1. Let's look at this trumpets. Because this is what we're here for, to understand the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. Go ahead, verse 1.
And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Yes, sir.
And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets.
These 7 seals are just like the 7th trumpet. The trumpet blows and they open the seal of the first trumpet all the way down to the 7th trumpet. Jump down to verse 5. Let's look at that. Go ahead.
And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar, cast it into the earth, and there were voices and thundering and lightnings and an earthquake.
Yes, sir.
And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound.
they prepared themselves to sound, because once they blow that trumpet, it's destruction coming behind that. Go ahead.
The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood.
Now we're dealing with the first trumpet that blows. It's followed hail, mingled with blood. Hail is talking about, in our term, a meteor that's on fire. And when it hit the earth, it's going to kill a lot of people, and it's going to be blood upon that meteor, that rock. Go ahead.
And they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green trees was burnt up.
We ain't seen that before. You talking about a third. The earth is like a globe, a circle. This is a third of it right here. When they hit the earth, it took all that out, destroyed it all. We ain't never seen the earth like that. Go ahead, brother.
And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood.
Go ahead.
And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed.
Understand that. All the creatures in the sea gonna die. The third part of the creatures in the sea gonna die. It's gonna be bloody. So that means your water gonna be polluted. It's gonna be very important that you be in the place of safety. Because we're going to have springs of water out there in the wilderness. Where there's nothing that's going right now, people going to say, no, that man crazy, got y'all going out in the desert. But believe me, when we hit that wilderness, trees going to sprout out, water going to sprout out, wells and everything going to sprout out. They're going to say, man, it's paradise over there. Let's get in there. That's when God going to put them angels around that wilderness. In Psalm 91, he going to make sure nobody get in. Period. Nobody. Go ahead.
And the third angel sounded, verse 10. Third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of rivers and upon the fountains of waters.
Yes, sir.
And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of all the waters because they were made bitter.
You see, the water gonna be bitter. Now, we can go to the store right now, buy some water. Go to our faucet, drink some water. It's clean. But at this time, it's going to be hardly no water that's clean. Only in the wilderness at the time. You best to be here in the wilderness. Because if you're not, you're going to be running for your life. That's going to be a hard 3.5 years. All the money, all the houses, all the clothes, all the cars ain't going to mean nothing. Because this stuff going to get burnt up. Don't hold on to this stuff now. Let it go. I would drop my shop, my cars. When the abomination, desolation, when that man said, stand in the temple, God say, God, I'm moving. No hesitation. But most people say, oh, yeah, I just got the time I want to enjoy it. It ain't time to go yet, Joe. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to turn my head and keep walking. Because he said, run. Whatever you got on you right now, go straight to the east. Recognize your transportation. Don't be like this, because this is what's going to hit the earth when them trumpets blow. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise.
So the sun and the moon and the stars are not going to shine like it is now. Outside, it's kind of like you can get some moonlight. But when it shine like, when this tribulation period hit, when these trumpets blow, it ain't going to shine like that. It's going to be gloomy from day and night for 3.5 years. Gloomy. Go ahead.
And I beheld, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound.
He said, woe means warning, warning, warning to all the inhabitants. Everybody, because he got 3 more destruction periods coming with these trumpets. This is why the memorial of trumpet is so important that we keep it to understand. Let's go to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1. Let's pick it up with the 5th trumpet blowing. Go ahead.
And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth.
Yes, sir.
And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
I got to let you know, this star that fell from heaven, that's Satan. He has the key to the bottomless pit, meaning that he has the key to power over the nations. Let's look. We're going to hold you spot here in Revelation chapter 9. Let me show you who that star is. Let's go to Luke chapter 10 and verse 18. So I let you know that Satan fell from heaven. He's an angel. He's a star. When you talk about stars, angels are referred to as stars. And he was the most beautiful star of all. Luke chapter 10 and verse 18. This is what Jesus said about Satan. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Yes, sir. Lightning fell from heaven. He fell from heaven like lightning. It was a star. You ever see lightning strike? That's how Satan fell. Michael threw his behind out of heaven so fast, made his head swing. Go ahead, verse 19. No, you're right. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 9. I just want to show you that Satan fell as lightning from heaven. And this is where he got kicked out at. Revelation chapter 12, excuse me. He was going to go back to 9. Revelation chapter 12. I just want to show you how Satan got kicked out. Because this star is over the bottomless pit. And the bottomless pit is talking about in the world. He controls the military. He controls all weapons of mass destruction. He's the one. And I'm going to show you that. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. Go ahead.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
So they fighting up there in heaven. God want him out. He trying to dethrone God, and God said, Michael, get that joke out of here. Go ahead.
And prevailed not.
He prevailed not, meaning he wasn't successful. Go ahead.
Neither was there place found any more in heaven.
Go ahead.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world.
Yes, sir.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him.
So a third of the angels along with Satan were cast out. This is this star that's over the bottomless pit. He has power over these nations at this time. We finished with that?
Yes, sir.
Go back up in verse 3. Let me show you something. Verse 3. Go ahead.
And there appeared another one in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
Yes, sir.
And did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Understand what he says. He said, there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, the great dragon, which is Satan, having 7 heads and 10 horns. These 7 heads are the Gentile dynasties. All the Gentile dynasties you can read about in Daniel chapter 7. You got the first one, Nebuchadnezzar, the next one was King Darius and Cyrus, the next one was Alexander the Great, and his 4 generals, and then we got down to the Roman dynasty, where we at now. He controls all that. And he told him, he said, and his tail, meaning that what he drew with him was a third part of the stars that fell from heaven. He then did cast to the earth. To what? Cast them to the earth. They cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman. He's saying, literally talking about a woman. It's talking about the church that's going to have Jesus. And he said, which is ready to deliver her child as soon as it is born. Satan always been trying to kill Jesus. He do not want Jesus to save us. From the time he was in Mary's belly, he was trying to kill him. Tried to kill him through with King Herod. He said, find all the babies that 2 years old in the honor and kill them all. They couldn't find him. So he told Mary and Joseph, go into Egypt and hide. This is the time. He didn't want us to have no knowledge of what's about to hit this earth. And he tried to kill Jesus. We finished that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go back to Revelation chapter 9. Let's read some understanding about that star that fell from heaven. And I know why preachers don't want to go in the book of Revelation. because they do not understand it. They haven't been taught by Israel. I understand. And believe me, this intimidated me when I first started, because I thought back in the day that he gonna have little grasshoppers biting on folk, scorpions biting on people, all this stuff. I'm like, hey, I don't want to see that. But we're gonna find out it wasn't like that. He was just, only John can give a description of what he knew.